In the previous video, we actually talked about the different tips and tricks to engage the student body at a secondary and a tertiary level. Now, if we're drilling down into the details of what type of platforms, what's been effective at a secondary level to keep that engagement, to get the feedback loop going, make sure that you can deliver successful education and your subject content to your student body at a secondary level? What kind of platforms do you guys use?
In the past 10 years, we've probably looked at two main platforms in education. The first one was Blackboard. Blackboard was very successful when we were beginning our e-learning journey 10 years ago. It enabled us to get the students online and provide a common space with a common language.
Yeah.
Over the past probably 3 or 4 years, education's really started to separate into two different platforms which most education systems will look like. And that's either Google Docs or Microsoft.
Yeah.
And that tends to be where they're going. And the beauty of those two platforms is they do provide similar outcomes for the kids and similar opportunities to develop in an online learning environment.
Mm-hmm.
In Education Queensland, we use Microsoft as our learning platform. So really based around Class Notebook and OneNote, but also branching out into Office 365, using Skype, using things like Microsoft Forms for feedback, so your quizzes and things like that, using Sway to have that digital interaction and get them to engage in real world learning opportunities. So I think that's been really successful in regards to enabling students to have a common space, being the Class Notebook, so that's your launch pad, but then being able to go off in a whole range of different ways to engage in learning that can be customised to the students' learning requirements. So whether they're a visual audio learner,
Mm-hmm.
they can go off into a Sway. Whether they're strictly visual, we can include links to textbooks and things like that. If they're an audio, we've got immersive reader built in. So the students that are either visually challenged or linguistically challenged,
Mm-hmm.
they've got that opportunity to have that audio feedback. So it really gives us a broad range of tools that we can employ to address all the different learners that we have there. And I think the fact that it's a platform that's delivered online with the ability to have that desktop backup means that it doesn't matter whether you're using a phone, it doesn't matter whether you're using a tablet or a Mac or a Windows-based machine.
Mm.
You can engage with that platform anywhere, anytime. And I think the true definition of success in a learning platform, whether it's Google Docs, whether it's Blackboard, whether it's Microsoft Office, is that ability to have 24/7 engagement.
Yep.
So if you're sick at home or you've got things going on, or you've got to travel for sport or travel for family needs or things like that you've got the ability to come back, have that commons launch pad for your learning, where you already know you can go, and then have that communication platform through email, through collaboration space, to be able to get that feedback and get that support from both your peers and your teachers.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we are now, and I think that's where we're going to be over the next future. It's about how do we leverage that in our own circumstances, whether we're in CathEd, whether we're in EQ, whether we're in the Anglican system, whether in private. How do we leverage those facilities in order to engage the different clientele, the different things, the different learning needs we have in our environment at a remote and a distance level.